Hi, everyone. This is Anna, one of your consumer technology specialists at Mid-Continent Public Library. And today we are going to look at a reading tracker app called Bookly. So unlike the other reading trackers we looked at in previous videos, Goodreads and the Storygraph, Bookly can only be accessed as an app. So there is a website with some information about it, and then it just directs you right to download the app for your mobile device. Today we're going to look at it on an iPad, but you can also get it for Android devices as well. So from our home screen, we are just going to tap on the app, which is a blue icon with a white letter B. So we'll tap on that. And this brings us to our home page, which is the My Books tab of the app. So you can see books in each collection that you might have. We're going to tap on All Books. At the top, it's right underneath Bookly, the name. And when we tap on that, it brings us a little pop-up menu where we can see all of our different collections. So when I set up this app, these collections were all already created. So they do give you a few collections to start with, and then you can also manage your collections by tapping that last option on the bottom. And on the screen, we can tap Edit at the top right corner. And then if we want to delete one of these, we can go ahead and do that by tapping on the red minus circle. And then when we are finished, we'll hit Done. You can also swipe left on the collection title to delete it when you're not in the edit mode. And then if we can also tap on the little plus sign right next to that and create a new collection. And books are automatically added to collections with author names. So if it's an author's name, their books are automatically going to be added to that collection, it looks like. We're not going to add one today, so I'm just going to tap the X icon to get out of that. And then if I tap on any of these collections, it will open that collection so I can see what books I have put in there. So I'm just going to go back so that we can get back to the My Books page. So to add a book to our collection, we are going to tap on the plus sign that is in the top left corner. And when we do that, we have the option to add a single book or multiple books. I'm going to tap Add a Single Book. And here we have the option to either search online for the book, scan the ISBN code, or manually add the information in. So I'm going to search online, and I am going to search for Toni Morrison's book, Beloved. So I'll just pick the first one there, and then we already have some of that information put in. And to save the book, I will just tap on Save Book at the bottom. And now we have it in our carousel. And we can see if you use your finger and just swipe left or right, you can move that book carousel around to display the different books that you've saved. And whenever a book is selected, you can then swipe up from the kind of bottom area to get more information about that book and some average reading stats. So you can see here, this book, Agatha Christie, we finished reading it. It shows us how many pages we read, how long it took us to read it. We'll find out how we do that in a second. and then how many reading sessions we had. So we can kind of see a log of our reading and how long it takes us to read certain books, things like that. There are some more options. However, yes, I had a feeling. Some of the options that display on this app are only available with the Pro version. And of course, the company, the app creators want you to buy up to that full version. So any of the features that they display that are actually premium features are going to take you to this screen about upgrading. You don't have to, you can just X out of that and go back to the previous page. So we can also see an infographic, and it shows us how many pages we read. It's kind of the same information from above, but with some icons, and it's a little bit more visually interesting to look at being an infographic. So we'll just tap outside of that box, and that'll bring us back to the previous page. Right underneath the Bookly title in the top center, there is a little like carrot icon. And if I tap on that, it will actually not tap on that. If I swipe down from that, it brings us back to the My Books homepage. And still looking at this record, if we look underneath the title and author's name, we can see if we have put it on a specific shelf, and if we tap that shelf, we can add it to a different collection. So let's say we're going to make this a summer reads book. So I just tap where it says summer reads, I get my check mark, and I tap save. And now if you can see underneath that author's name, the collection that the book is in has changed. It also does show the ratings. You can rate the book after you finish reading it, and it'll display your ratings there. And so if I go back to the carousel and change to select another book, so here we have Killers of the Flower Moon. I have not read that one yet. So if we look back under the title and author where the rating was on that last book, it says start reading. And if I just tap on that, it's going to bring up a timer for me, and it automatically starts. So this is how I can track how long I've been reading, and it will save each session for me in the app. So this is really great if you are trying to build a habit of reading. You can have this timer, and then it will keep track of how long you've read each day. So it looks like I have a couple options on this screen as well. I can add a quote from the book, change it to be a countdown instead of a timer. So maybe I want to set it for 20 minutes. I can do that, and then it'll just count down instead of up and let me know when the time is up. I can also add a thought about the title, which can be good if you want to kind of keep like a reading log or a reading journal to refer back to. And you can also add words. So maybe words that you don't know that you come across in the book, you can add those for reference later. You can also play some sounds to keep you calm and focused. Looks like only one of them is available on the free option. So that's just something to keep in mind. And then, of course, you can get more features by upgrading to the Pro option. And then when you're done with your reading for the day, you just tap stop, and it gives you the option to enter the amount of pages that you read, and then you can save. And it might actually say continue reading if it's a book you've started rather than a book you haven't started. So look for either start reading or continue reading to set that timer. And then just to the right is a plus sign button, and this allows you to quickly add either pages read or session information. So if you forget to turn your session on and still want to have it as part of your log, you can manually enter it in after the fact. And then on the top left area of the screen on this app, we already looked at the other plus sign, which is how we can add books to our collection. Right next to that is a kind of cascading books icon. This is another place that you can look at collections and edit your collections. So just another way to get to those collections. The star icon is so that you can review the app in the App Store. So when you open it, it's going to ask you if you would please give them a review. And then if you tap on that, it will take you to your respective App Store. And then the menu on the right side, there is kind of like a filter option, and that allows you to choose sort and filter options on your book's display. You can also use the magnifying glass to search through books you've already added to collections. It's not an initial search to add a book. That is on the left side. And then they do have another button that you can use to get to their premium service. And then there are some other tabs at the bottom that we can look at real quickly. The goals tab lets you set daily, monthly, and yearly goals, as well as a place to track your progress and set reminders to read. The stats tab will show you the pages read, time read, consecutive days reading, statistics. You can also filter it by year or a custom range. And the all books in the top left corner, that's a premium feature. The dots in the top right corner, those will bring up a menu with terms of use, social media links, contact buttons, and you can also add your email to get a newsletter about readathons, cool articles, and contests. The assistant, you can look at it, but it does require a premium account to use. And then the store tab, the more reading you do, you get awarded jewels, which can then be redeemed for different app icons or clothing for your assistant. So I think it's a way they are trying to make it more fun to track your reading. So if you're interested in other reading tracker options, be sure to check out the other videos on YouTube that we've done. We've looked at Goodreads and the Storygraph. Thanks for watching today. We will see you again next time. That's it for today's video. If you liked it, make sure you let us know. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook on our MCPL 360 page. We have new videos every Wednesday and Friday at 1 p.m. And if you missed the live event, you can always find all of our videos on our YouTube channel. You can find all of our videos there on our consumer technology playlist. Thanks again for watching, and we will see you again next time.